Welcome, welcome to SPPS School, and this is today about creative way, creative way to explain about unknown subject, unknown nouns. Yes. So today we will be discussing about unknown subject and unknown nouns. If you don't know the name of object and subject or idea or anything which existed in the world, and we are explaining about those, so how we can divide into them and how we can express about that with our partner, with friends, with family members and with the audience. So this is very difficult. जिन चीज़ों के नाम नहीं जानते उनके बारे में एक्सप्लेन करना इट्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट थिंग, ओके, बिकॉज वी हैव बीन टॉट लाइक दैट. इफ यू डोंट नो यू कैन से दैट you don't know, and if you know you can tell them about a few categories and these ideas and the functions and all those things which will be helpful to understand to the listeners, to the audience. So today we will be learning a secret about unknown object and things. So you can divide into two, three parts. The first is title. It's mean what it is. It is object, idea, or a person. Okay. So this will be also helping to them to understand is it idea or object or any person. So if you are explaining about anything, you'll have to give them a title. It's mean the category, which category it belong to. Is it living thing or non-living thing? So which will help them to understand what you are explaining about. Okay, so let's start with the first. Sometimes we get confused about explaining about unknown things. It's mean we have seen somewhere a thing which we don't know the vocabulary of that, what to call it. So how we can explain about those things. जिन चीज़ों को हमने देखा नहीं जानते उनके बारे में, तो कैसे explain करेंगे उनके बारे में in English language. So you'll have to divide into two three parts which are very important. The first is title. It's mean category, which category it belong to. Like this pen, this is marker, okay, it is a permanent marker, but we don't know the name of it, so how we can explain about it? Okay, so first of all we'll tell that category of this object. So we'll tell it is an object, it is an object, okay, it is a stationary object. The second is the characteristics. It's mean what are the importance of it. Okay, what are the importance of, what does it do, that what does it do. So we will be explaining about it is a stationary object and it helps us to write darken. Okay, it helps us to write darken on whiteboard and the board to make clear understand the words on the boards which are written through this object. Okay, so it is a stationary object. It helps us to write with the highlighted point, and it helps us to write on the board when we are conducting a meeting and organizing a training. Okay, so it helps us to write on the board. It has different colors, black, blue, green, whatever you want to. And it can, and the next one is where it can be found, where it is being used. So it can be found in the stationery shop or in the offices or in the training while the trainer is writing on the board. So with this object they write on the board. Okay, so it can be found in the stationery shop again. Okay, so you will be explaining like this. It is a stationary object and it helps us to write on the board when we conducting training and a meeting, and it helps us to write very clearly in the darkened mode. It had different colors, green, black, blue, and it can be found in a stationary. So I don't know what to call it, but it is an object, writing object. So it helps us to write on the board. Then people will tell you, oh, are you talking about marker, are you talking about sketch pen, are you talking about pen? Then definitely you will select anyone which you are talking about. Okay, next is about this is eraser, okay, duster. So what you will explain about it? So it is again an object, it's a non-living object. Okay, and we don't know what to call it, but it is again a stationary object which help us to erase the data which are written on the board and which we have marked on the board. So it helps us to remove those all words when we apply on the board. Okay, then they will be thinking about, and it can be found again in the stationery shop. Okay, it can be found again in the stationery shop. So how would you explain about? It is an object, non-living object, but it is a stationary object and which help us to remove, to erase the words which are written on the board. When we apply it on the board, it help us to erase the words and clean them out, and it can be found in the stationery shop. So you can explain like this. Okay, next one is about, it is a folder file. Okay, it is a folder file. So it is also a stationary object. Sorry, I'm again using again and again, but okay, let me do it again. So it is an electronic object. I don't know what to call it, but when we plug into the holder, then it produces lights. Okay, it helps us to reduce, mitigate the darken, because it provides light in the room. Okay, and it can be found in the electronic shop. Okay, and it has also different, it has many colors to generate the light. Then definitely it remove the darkness. So you can explain like this: it is an electronic object. It helps us to reduce the darkness, because it provides, it throws a lot of light through it when we switch on the board, when we connect with, when we plug into the holder, and it can be found in the electronic shop. I don't know what to call it. Then people will understand what you're talking about. So it's a best and better way to explain, and creative and constructive way to explain about unknown subject, object, idea, and thing, which will help them to understand. Like tree, last is tree. So what is tree? So it is belonging to like category. So which category it belong to? It's a living and non-living thing, both. But it provides oxygen, it gives fresh airs, and it also uh, help us to live, because it provide oxygens, and we also heal all the kind of the problems, and we can heal with this. It has branches, and birds sit on that, and it can be found in the forest, around the park, and around the houses, and everybody plant them. So it is belonging to the plant category. It's mean it kind of a plant. Okay, but I don't know what to call it, but it is. So it also sits on us, and it provides us oxygen, and it helps us to, it also give us shadow, and it has branches where birds are sitting on the branches, and kind of things you can also explain about. It can be found in the forest and around the houses. So these kind of explanation you can use. So divide into three parts. The first is category, the second is characteristics, its mean importance, and the third one is about where it is being used, or where it can be found. Okay, category, characteristics, its mean the importance. The third one is about where it is being used, or where it can be found. So these three things will help you to understand about unknown object, unknown subject, unknown idea, which you want to explain to your listeners, to partner, to friends, to your family members, to everybody. So use them when you don't know the name of object, subject, and idea. So please do explain like this. If you want to learn English language, please do attend our class, which is at just 1 rupee. Do not forget to register yourself. English class at just 1 rupee. Yes, this is happening in the world first time. English class, one-on-one English class, live classes at just 1 rupee. So do not forget to join the classes.